Pokemon opinions. Apparently you're not allowed to have them, and I for some reason get told that I have a ton of horrible Pokemon takes. So, I decided to use it to my advantage. Let's talk about my unpopular Pokemon opinions. I can already see the comment section now. I keep seeing my own damn video in my recommended, but that video is old, older than my dog, so I think it's about time to make an updated video. And for the record, I don't have bad takes. That's implying that opinions can be wrong, and opinions by definition can't be wrong. We're just different people. Crazy, right? If you hate me just because of my opinions, you're just a sheltered little brat who doesn't know how to socialize. People are just different. That's what makes them interesting. Anyways, it's difficult to gauge which opinions are unpopular and which ones aren't since the Pokemon community is so divisive. If I were to say I hate Barry, which I do, I'll get a flood of people telling me that they like him. But if I said that I like Barry, I'll get a flood of people telling me that they hate him. You see what I'm saying? Very hard to tell what's the unpopular opinion, and most people only feel the need to comment if they feel angry, which is sad, but it's just the way it is. But I'll do my best. I like Pikachu clones. Already off to a wonderful start. I can see people raising their pitchforks, and I don't think they're hungry. I know there's a bad stigma with Pikachu clones, but I think they're kind of cute. They're all unique in their own way, aside from Plusle and Minun. They're just kind of stupid. But aside from them, I love Pachirisu, Emolga, and Morpeko. Some people argue that Mimikyu is a Pikachu clone, but it's just straight up not. I think the bare minimum to qualify as a Pikachu clone is to be an electric type, which Mimikyu isn't. It's a ghost fairy type. Plus, they already have Togedemaru for Generation 7, so it would just be redundant. I don't like any of the Gen 2 starters. Now, this isn't to say I hate them. I'm just mostly indifferent to all of them. I just feel like none of them really call out to me. Typhlosion is, I don't know, kind of bland. Feraligatr looks like it has something wrong with it, and Meganium is Meganium. Who the fuck likes Meganium? I do like Chikorita though. Chikorita looks funny. But they just all seem like bottom of the barrel choices. I'm sorry. I wish I could like them, but I just don't. Whenever I do inevitably have to choose though, I usually choose Totodile. I don't know, he just looks funny. I hate Penny. She's sort of written like the cookie cutter smart character. Oh no, she gets bullied, and oh, she loves anime and games. She stays in her room all day and makes game and anime references. Laugh, guys, laugh. And not only that, but she's really smart. She knows how to hack and doesn't think it's a big deal because she's just that smart. I know for a fact she smells bad. She's pretty similar to Futaba from Persona 5. I sort of didn't like Futaba from Persona 5 at first because she would make anime and video game references in public, but then I realized I do the same thing. So, okay, maybe it isn't as weird as I thought, but I still think she's a way better character than Penny. Persona characters are way more three-dimensional than Pokemon characters. Futaba's whole personality isn't that she's an anime otaku gamer girl super hacker. Yeah, that's a big part of it, but there's a whole nother chunk of character. But that seems to be all Penny is. That isn't to say I hated Team Star. I actually kind of like their whole story. I just think that Penny is lazily written. If you haven't seen this character trope used over and over again, I can see why you could like her. But as someone who has seen this time and time again, I'm just so tired of it. Popular Pokemon aren't overrated. I already made a whole video about this explaining my thoughts, but basically what I'm saying is that just because a Pokemon is popular doesn't mean it's overrated. You wouldn't say that apples are overrated. It just means that you're in the minority who doesn't like apples. And the same applies to Pokemon. There's a reason Pokemon like Charizard, Greninja, and Lucario are so popular. They're just really cool looking Pokemon. Meowth isn't. It's just a cat with a coin taped to its head. Not to say that I hate it, but it isn't as cool as these other Pokemon. But it still gets a ton of merchandise and such. Hence why I believe that it's justified to call that thing overrated and Charizard just popular. I don't hate Meowth. It's just, you know, Meowth. Go is a cool character. I never understood why Go got so much hate. I guess people just didn't like him sharing the spotlight with Ash, but I think it was really cool seeing him do what Ash couldn't, which is actually attempt to catch one of every Pokemon. And I liked his dynamic with Ash. He was the more level-headed and smarter one of the two, which to be fair, isn't really saying much when you're being compared to Ash, but the point still stands. He never really did anything in the series to annoy me or make me say, wow, this guy fucking sucks. I was actually pretty proud of him, and liked seeing him grow and seeing episodes centered around him. The person I do feel bad for is Chloe. She got absolutely no screen time, like, at all. I don't even know why they bothered adding her in the first place, if I'm being honest. I like her character design, and the episodes centered around her were great, but they just brushed her to the side for the majority of the series, and it's really sad. It mostly just seems like they needed a female character to fill in that checkbox and move on. I don't like Pokemon Masters EX. I'm considering this an unpopular opinion because I don't really see anyone anyone say anything negative about this game. All I see are people obsessing over it, trying to get their favorite characters and whatnot. And I'm happy for the people who do enjoy it, but I just couldn't get into it. I tried, I really did. The gameplay just isn't fun. It just feels really bare bone to me. I do like that the game actually has voice acting though, which at the same time kind of pisses me off, because if they can have voice acting in a mobile gacha game, they should be able to add it into the main series, but lock me up. Put me in an insane asylum, because apparently that's too much to ask for. I also don't understand why Game Freak got rid of the Game Corner, which was just a place with slot machines where you could gamble with your in-game money. Focus on in-game. It's not real. But they're perfectly okay with letting you gamble with real-world money in Pokemon Masters. The double standard is insane. The reasoning of, oh, it's bad for the kids because they'll get a gambling addiction, doesn't make sense if they have a whole mobile game targeted towards kids that is centered around a gacha gambling system. I just think that the game sucks. It's an anomaly and it shouldn't exist. Also, I lost my account on it, which I guess I should be thanking them for. Basing your whole personality on liking a character is really weird and unhealthy. This isn't a problem exclusive to the Pokemon community, it's everywhere, but someone's gotta say something about it. There are a ton of people who obsess way too much over fictional characters, and it's extremely unhealthy. Please go outside. It got to a point where in a video, I talked about Leon not being a good champion, but I still like him as a character. Keyword on I still like him. He's cool. And some fatherless child on Twitter who bases their entire personality on liking Leon just started attacking me. All the replies weren't even, yeah, I like Leon. They were just bashing me specifically. Like, dude, I said he's a good character. And when I went to go check, this person was being followed by other big accounts, which at that point, I'm just stunned. Is this type of behavior really okay? Like, this is fucking insane. God, I hate Twitter. I just knew if I said anything back, I'd be painted as the bad guy. So I just ignored it. Until now. But here I am to spread the word. Don't be mentally ill like that Leon creature. That's when it's a problem. It's okay if you like a character a lot. I'm not saying you shouldn't have favorites. Just don't let that consume you, because that's fucking weird. Scarlet and Violet have been the most fun games in a while. I'm still not really sure where the community stands on this. I see people say, oh my god, these games suck, and others say they love them. The main reason people say that these games suck is because of the frame drops, and yeah, they're awful. And people say the same thing about Sword and Shield, so what's the difference, Rogue? Why are you biased, Rogue? What's your credit card number, Rogue? Shut up! It's 7, by the way. Anyways, the difference between Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet is even without frame drops, Sword and Shield is still a bad game, whereas Scarlet and Violet isn't. It was so fun getting to travel around anywhere I wanted to go in Paldea, especially online with friends. I just wish level scaling was a thing, but even despite that, I had so much fun exploring and doing things at my own pace. If I wanted to go that way, I could go that way. And then I would tell my friends all about it, like, oh, I saw this over here. You should go check that out. And they would trade information back with me. It just felt like we were really all in one big adventure. I just hope that the next Pokemon game is somewhat like that. And if not, I hope someday in the future we get another experience like that. Lyra has a good design. The majority of people that I've seen talk about Lyra's outfit says that it looks stupid, but I actually like it a ton, probably because of the big poofy hat. I don't know what it is about that damn hat, but I love characters with it. Of course, we have Lyra, Shiki Misaki, Mei from Guilty Gear, Tony Chopper, Koala, Charlotte, Nadia from Pokemon Duel. The only reason I remember her is because of that damn hat. I don't know why. I don't even like wearing hats. Back to Lyra though. I think Lyra just has a better design than Chris. Chris's outfit is just kind of thrown together. Like, I feel like it has no sense of style or substance. We got red, blue, yellow, white, pink, and her greenish blue hair. It just doesn't work. There's too much going on. But then we go take a look at Lyra and things just work together a lot better. Red, blue, white, and black. Sorta sounds familiar. I swear this isn't bias. It's just a good outfit. Overalls are kind of dumb looking, but she makes it work. Her shoes kind of look bland, but her socks make up for the lack of color, and it complements her hat. Trust me guys, I used to be a graphic design major, but now I do YouTube. Thank God. I hated college. I don't like Larry that much. I am gonna get jumped by saying this. I already know it. Like, guys, I don't hate Larry. You hear me? You hear those words? I do not hate Larry. But I just don't get the hype around him either. Yeah, he's just a tired businessman, and yeah, I agree, it's funny. But oh my God, you guys idolize him. I think the unpopular opinion here is that I just don't idolize him as much as others do. I usually tend to stay away from the whole meme choices anyway, like Lechonk. Pokemon tried way too hard to make that a meme. It felt really forced. I guarantee you people would not like Lechonk as much if it was named something else. They would hate him, in fact. Maybe this counts as another unpopular opinion. A 2-in-1. 4Kids made better songs than the Pokemon Company. If you don't know, the Pokemon anime was dubbed by 4Kids all the way up until Generation 4, which is when the Pokemon Company stepped in and said, we'll take it from here. Now I know 4Kids is notorious for their awful censorship, but if there's one thing they're good at, it's making some catchy tunes. They made such iconic songs that are still synonymous with Pokemon till this day. Almost every every single intro that they made was a fucking banger. The Indigo League opening, absolutely iconic. The Orange Islands intro, no reason for it to go as hard as it does. Johto Journeys feels like a brand new adventure. Johto League Champions takes the Indigo League opening and cranks it up to 10. Phenomenal. Master Quest, it gets your blood pumping. Pokemon Advance, pretty damn great. Advanced Challenge, the flow just keeps going. Advanced Battle, this just screams Generation 3. Incredible. But of course, the last one, Battle Frontier, is god-awful. Wanna know why? That's when 4Kids lost their license and the Pokemon Company started dubbing the anime. I have no idea what went wrong in the studio. I guess all the budget went to not censoring pointless things. Wait, no, wouldn't that mean they have more of a budget? Anyways, they did pick up the pace with the Diamond and Pearl rap, which I think is an unpopular opinion because a lot of people dislike it, but I think it's great. And after that, they did alright. But here's the thing. They're alright. None of them really stand out after that. And don't say X and Y's opening because that's just 4Kids' original opening with a new coat of paint. The one I absolutely cannot stand is the Pokemon Ultra Legends opening. It just makes me want to rip my ears out. This isn't me saying, oh, the old days are so much better. Like, there's some good ones like Be a Hero, Battle Cry, Opening 11, I don't know if it has a name. Ultra Adventures was alright. There's just no heavy hitters. What the hell happened? 4Kids didn't even just stop at making openings. Oh no, 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 no. They made whole fucking albums. Remember Vacation? That is the summertime tune of all time. It's so good till this day. Trust me, my character wears headphones. I know what I'm talking about. Pikachu's Coming, pause, is a good song too. Pokemon World from the movie 2000, this is the epitome of 2000 technopop. To Be a Master is like the Pokerap's younger brother. It's great. I really wish I could play them for you guys, but I'll get hit with a copyright strike and this video will get blocked in every other country except Russia for some reason. Pokemon Journeys openings are alright, but they just don't really fit. When I was watching Pokemon Journeys in Japanese because the dub wasn't out yet, I was like, damn, these openings are good. Which led me to a realization in my next unpopular opinion. The Japanese openings are better in the new series, aka post 4Kids. This isn't me having nostalgia, because I'd have more nostalgia towards the dub openings. And this isn't me saying that Japanese is better, because I like watching anime dubbed. But listening to the Japanese openings for the first time, these are great. Sun and Moons were actually amazing. They redeemed themselves. But back to Pokemon Journeys, 1, 2, and 3 is such a nice fitting intro. It's so upbeat and feels like a journey. And then they did it again. And then a third time. Yeah, it overstayed its welcome. I'm not a fan of these like covers or remixes or whatever you call them. They just lost all their charm. The first Pokemon anime opening in Japanese is so damn catchy. Not all of them are good. There's some that made me go, what the fuck am I watching? But for the most part, I think they do a better job. Anyways, enough about Pokemon music. I know it's probably driving some of you insane, but this is like the only time I'll be able to talk about it, so let me have this. I don't like Legends Arceus' weird cel-shaded art style. This one is probably a little controversial. Now remember, I'm not saying that I don't like Legends Arceus. I love it. It's a great game. Probably top 5 Pokemon games of all time. But the art style looked kind of weird to me and I just don't really like it. I'm looking at it right now and I'm just trying to figure out what I dislike. And I think it's the combination of lighting and the attempt at cel shading. Typically, cel shaded games are super bright and vibrant. Just think of Wind Waker. That game looks amazing even till this day. Everything just pops. But Legends Arceus feels washed out with its colors, which I guess it uses to its advantage since the game does take place in the past. I'm looking closer and maybe it's the contrast between the cel-shaded look of the Pokemon and the trainers compared to the environment. The environment isn't really cel-shaded, so it makes it look strange. I'm not entirely sure. I'm doing my best to point my finger at what exactly I don't like, and it's really difficult. I'm not saying the games look bad, I just don't like it. It's the same problem I have with Breath of the Wild. The first time you look at it, it looks really good, but after a while, it just feels dull. I guess I just don't like cel shading with warm lighting. I don't know. Moving on. The Joined Avenue was super fun. I don't know what the general consensus was about the Joined Avenue, but I never hear people talk about it, so I'm gonna take this chance to do it. I loved it way more than I probably should have. And to be fair, I was young, but still. I was building that place up every day until my brother wanted to reset the game. I told him, I was like, no, I don't want to restart the Joined Avenue. You're not even gonna beat the game. And he assured me that he would. But you wanna know what happened? He didn't beat the game. He wasn't anywhere close to beating the game. I fucking called it. And wanna know what stings even more? He lost the game! The fuck? Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were good games. People love to hate on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and some people don't even remember it exists. I'll admit, even I forget about this game's existence. It's the first Pokemon game on the Switch, and when it first came out, people treated it like it was a joke and called the games awful. But looking back on it now, these were probably unironically the most polished Pokemon games on the Switch, and we just bullied it for no reason. There wasn't any frame rate issues, no game-breaking bugs. It was just a standard weird Pokemon Generation 1 revamp with a Pokemon Go twist to it. Were the games hard? Hell no, but I still had fun playing it. It was just a short, sweet adventure. The only issue I have with these games are probably just the cheapy art style because they look kinda weird. These weren't really bad games. They're just about what you'd expect. Nothing mind-blowing, but not bad. Some Pokemon pre-evolutions are better. I sometimes just like pre-evolutions better, and I casually say that sometimes in videos, but holy shit, this gets the biggest reaction out of people. And I don't know why. Like, I don't hate the evolution, I just prefer the pre-evolutions design. I guess the take depends on what Pokemon. Like, I'm sure the majority of people prefer Wooper to Quagsire. Quagsire is still super cute, but look at Wooper. He's adorable. My favorite Pokemon is a pre-evolution, being Zorua. And the channel's secondary mascot, Billip, is also a pre-evolution. I still like Azumarill, but I like Billip more. I guess some of my more crazy preferences is me preferring Glameow over Purugly, which you would think people would, but I get screamed at about it, so I guess not. The ones people freak out over the most is preferring Electabuzz over Electivire. I just think Electivire looks kind of clunky, I don't know. I also think Magmortar looks weird, but some people get really toxic over this, like it's not that deep. If this genuinely gets you mad, get your priorities straight, you privileged fuck. Palworld is not a Pokemon ripoff. This is probably the most controversial take on this entire list, but I stand by it. If you want to know my full explanation, go watch my Palworld video. I basically state all of my points there because I really don't want to sound like a broken record saying the same thing over and over again. Anyways, like the video, subscribe, comment, follow my socials. Please stop recommending the old video. Bye everyone.